Hi, I'm Tanis and welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is Tanis Bolden. I'm a trail runner from Paris, Ontario. So normally we do a weekly vlog, updating my training week by week to see how I put together this training cycle in preparation for my upcoming ultramarathons. This week was supposed to be an epic story about survival, going to run the Grand Canyon rim to rim with my friend Tina. But as it turns out, this trip meant so much more than just a simple training run. This week taught me about friendship and self-image and getting to know myself better. To really understand this story, we need to go back to the beginning. Growing up, I struggled with close friendships. I had a big group of friends in high school and we spent a lot of time together, but I didn't necessarily feel that anyone was specifically close to me or would really check in with me and see how I was doing or kind of care how I was doing personally. So I never really had a close friendship. And I struggled even more with that going into university as I followed a boyfriend at the time to school. And I felt very isolated, and I also had a pretty bad hit to my self-confidence with that relationship, so that didn't help either. Pretty much as I've gone further into adulthood, I felt that I've had less and less close friendship and more people that really like spending time with others around me, but not necessarily me myself. Or at least that's the story I tell myself. So fast forward to Tina. So Tina and I met in 2021 during my first ultramarathon. Funny enough, she came running up onto my husband while I was racing and helped him crew me for my first ultramarathon in Halliburton. At the time, we were both like, I'm not sure who this is, but she seems to know us through our mutual friend Mitch, who you've seen on the vlog.
No idea why.
I crushed it!
I am so tired!
So after that race, we began talking more and more. And Tina's just one of those great people that really helps bring the running community together. Everyone seems to know her. So we got talking more and more. So last year she mentioned that she wanted to go do the rim to rim, since she had tried in January to do it, but because of the ice was unsuccessful. Now, the rim to rim has always been something on my bucket list since I became an ultra runner. I thought it sounded so unique and fascinating, and the last 2 times I've been to the Grand Canyon, I fell in love. So the fact that I could see all of it from one side to the other in a single day sounded like a great challenge to me. So I was lucky enough that Tina let me join in on her trip to go back to the Grand Canyon for a second round. Now at this point, we started talking more regularly, planning some training runs together, and started to become closer friends. For Workout Wednesday, we worked out today with Mike and with special guest appearance by Krista Duchesne and my friend Tina, or rather Tina's feet, as per request. And this brings us back to the present day. This past Sunday, we took a flight to Las Vegas. Four and a half hours later, we arrived and picked up our rental car to head to the Grand Canyon on the North Rim. On that drive, we saw some pretty epic views as we went through Nevada, the tail end of Utah, and then back into Arizona finally, my favorite place on earth. This very long travel day had us chasing sunsets, time zones, and even deer.
Yep. Look at you, little bitch. Get out of here.
Now, an important thing to note is prior to this trip, Tina had raced the Sulphur Springs the previous weekend and had to unfortunately drop out because of an injury. So she had mentioned to me that she had several plans in A, B, and C, as any good runner does. And those plans all revolved around her potentially not being able to finish this with me. Now, what we weren't prepared for was a big old plan D. In the middle of the night, I woke up sick to my stomach. Not sure if it was a flu, if it was something I ate. All I knew is that plan D was going to be she had to go without me. So I had been planning this trip for over 6 months. Obviously, it was really important to me. It's all I've been talking about for weeks and weeks. But at the end of the day, if you're sick, you don't go into the canyon. You have to respect how dangerous it is in the canyon. June is very hot at the bottom, between 100 and 110 degrees Fahrenheit, depending on what time of day you get in there. And dehydration would have been devastating. Not to mention the fact that I couldn't fathom even stomaching one gel. So dehydration plus lack of nutrition could mean death in the canyon. So I knew I was not about to go. I was really happy to push her off to go on her own, as she just had this devastating DNF the previous weekend. So then I was settled in, spending 12 hours by myself in bed because there's not much else I could do. I was at the north rim of the Grand Canyon, actually 30 minutes outside of it. The one really wonderful thing that happened is I had so many friends reach out to me. So this is where it's funny, the story you tell yourself is I'm always thinking, oh, okay, I don't really have any close friends or anyone that cares about me and how I'm doing. It was really amazing to see how the run community reached out and checked in and seen how I was doing to both me and Tina. I had so many messages just checking in and everyone feeling gutted because they knew how important that goal was to me and how much I was looking forward to it. It was really nice to have these messages of support just to make me smile. So at the end of the day, I had 12 hours of reflection ahead of me. Was I going to be upset about this goal or was I going to be grateful? I wasn't injured. I came out of my ankle injury relatively unscathed, so how could I not be grateful? I'm in the most beautiful place on earth. It's Arizona, my favorite place on earth. How could I be upset? Also, finally, I get to see my friend go and do something that was on her bucket list for years and years, and also get revenge at her previous weekend's disappointment. And ultimately, this trip was never about running the Grand Canyon. This trip was about friendship and opening myself up to letting someone else be close to me and get to know me. And it was really amazing to have that support and that one-on-one connection as we went through this trip. So there I am, sick in a different country, and we haven't really even spent that much time together before that point. And Tina was checking in on me and make sure I was okay and worried more about me than herself when she was in the Grand Canyon suffering and losing endless amounts of salt. And she was more worried about how I was feeling. So it's very touching to let that relationship grow and to open that space up in my heart for that. Even cooler is the first thing that Tina was worried about is that my experience of this trip would be negative. It was very important for her to go do something together that still salvaged this trip. I had the idea of maybe going to Zion National Park as we had drove past that on the way in, and she was all for it, which is pretty incredible because she must have been so sore. She did 6.5 hours of running in the heat, up massive elevations in the canyon, through sand, over rattlesnakes, and through rivers, and she still wanted to go and push on, even though it must have been so exhausting to do every step and to go back out in the heat again. So the very next morning, I luckily was feeling a lot better, so we headed out to Zion National Park. Again, another beautiful drive. This amazing tunnel through the rock. So we're at Zion. So we're at Zion National Park. We're doing a little hike today. See if Tina's legs hold up from the canyon. Look at this.
Like Tina's feet are a feature, right?
Tina's feet, yes.
That one didn't have as much. Oh, some clay. It was black. Watch.
Sand Beach Trail. Do you think, or Sand Bench Trail, is that an appropriate name?
Oh my gosh, you're right.
No, it is so terrible.
Didn't know it was literal.
Called Sand Bench Trail. Can't get more worse than that. Oh, that's the lower pools, emerald pool. Oh, my heart rate, it's way too high.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous for me.
Wow, that's cool. Look up. That's cool. And then onto the Emerald Pools Trail, leading up to this oasis within the rock. Cool. Tina graciously is letting me go ahead, do a bit of a run while she hikes up her Grand Canyon legs. So it's a good trade-off. I'll have to come back next year to do Grand Canyon, and that'll be okay. Good excuse to visit Arizona again, although right now I'm in Utah. And they're right here. Thank you. And I even got my running legs back in me, rocking down some technical descents. Reese would love this downhill. So we're just waiting for Tina to come down, and then we'll see where we're at for the day. Gotta head back to Vegas still and fly home tonight, but not before going to a Cirque du Soleil show, which I don't think I can put in this vlog. I don't think they let you videotape that. Pretty good turnaround from yesterday's stomach pain, so can't complain too much. From there, we went back to Vegas to check out the strip with the casinos and the hotels. Castle, came out of MGM Grand. And this is inside. It's like a little town inside. Of course, as I was feeling better, I had to get some treats and to see a Cirque du Soleil show, which is, as always, amazing. And then back home on a red-eye flight. So in the end, it wasn't about a run at all. It was about finding a lasting friendship against all odds and all negative stories that I tell myself in my own head. So that's it for this week's vlog. As of this coming weekend, we're just 2 weeks shy of race day for Minotaur. So I'll continue training, although I'm getting into my taper now, so I'll be cutting down my training week by week to be fresh for race day. In case you don't follow me on Strava, go check that out, link in the description. I have raced once already this year. I did in fact do Sulphur Spring.
Let's go Reese! Let's go T!
Which is the last weekend of May. I raced the 20K distance. I had a lot of success winning the females division and 4th overall. Just slightly behind the 3rd place male, which I'm still a little bit mad about because he was pacing off me. Why didn't he help me pace? But anyways, I actually was chasing the females course record. I didn't quite get it on the day, but I had a lot of fun trying and finding the speed in my legs. I also made some new friendships, and that's why I love the ultra running community. It's brought me so much growth as a person. Roads, I was just so self-centered and ironically not even getting to know myself that well and just pushing myself to the absolute breaking point until I had to take 3 months off completely because I was so burnt out. Now when I do these ultramarathons, I leave fulfilled and I have so much more to celebrate outside of myself. So that's it for this week's vlog. Like and subscribe below.